Hello. Today's August 1st, 2020, Saturday. I'm back at it again. It is 9:20. I got dropped off by my pops at around 8:40, 8:45 at Snickers Gap off Route 7 here in Northern Virginia. So I'm doing Snickers Gap to Harpers Ferry, where the family's gonna meet me tomorrow morning-ish. It's about 20-ish miles. There is really only one place to stay. That's like, there's one shelter. I forget what it's called. I'll pull the map out later and point it out. But it's at about like the 10-mile mark. And I don't want to wake up in the morning and hike 10 miles to Harpers Ferry, so I'm most likely just gonna stay in the woods somewhere off the trail. And probably in the rain. It's supposed to rain today, not till this afternoon. So I've just been cruising so far. This morning, it's crowded. When I say crowded, I see people. About to pass some people right now, actually. So I started by going just straight uphill for, I don't know, a mile, and now I'm going downhill. It's all been wet rocks, slick rocks. And yeah, I got new boots. I finally retired my old ones. They feel a little slick, maybe because they're still like straight from the factory. But, so I have slipped and fallen on my butt just once. And then I've slid like 2 or 3 times. So I gotta be extra careful, maybe not go as fast as I've been going, but just wanted to get ahead of the Northern Virginia crowds of people. Crossing these boulders is tricky. Like I said, I've already slipped. So hopefully I don't do it right now. I didn't fall. But you were rooting for it, weren't you? I can't believe you. It's so disappointing. Rooting for me to fall. Disgusting. All right, so now that I passed that beautiful overlook that I barely really stopped at, I expect it to be a little less crowded, so I should be able to do some of those, walking shots and that sort of stuff that I haven't done thus far. I really haven't said much. I've gone, a solid hour, and I've been booking it, passing everybody, because that's what I like to do. Also, I'm trying to do 20 miles today, so I don't want to take all day. And I'm in kind of a flat area where I heard something large. So I've been whistling and clapping, making noise, so I figured I'd pull out the camera and talk for a minute. Because I'm at the nice top flat part of the hill, kind of clear around here. Looks like a pretty good place for an animal to hang out. Well, I went to the doctor about my knee, which is why I haven't been for a hike in whatever the last one was, a month, June. I guess I didn't go the month of July. Went to the doctor, got an x-ray, nothing's broken, got an MRI. They said things like unremarkable and tiny tear, bone marrow edema, I don't know how to say it, I'm not a doctor. So the doctor said, you don't need surgery, nothing's torn, don't be a baby, take some ibuprofen. It'll probably get worse as you get older. My uncle, who's a knee guy, he took a look at the report, just said therapy. So I got a counselor and I've been talking to them about it, and you know, I feel all right for the moment. Another opportunity for me to fall. I can't believe you're rooting for again. Disgraceful. All right, Ridge River Trail. And there's a spring. I'm good on water, but I don't know when the next time I'll see water is. Maybe. Now's a good time to look at the map. All right, so here's where I started this morning. And here's where I am right now. Ridge to River Trail. And I'm going to go and fill up this spring because, like I said, I'm right down here. I don't see a trail. I know that there's probably going to be water at the shelter up here, or maybe here as well. Ah, screw it. I'm going to go here. There's water there. I don't need to fill up. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. I might as well take the time to show the map from Route 7 to the footbridge. And I'm about to start the Devil's Race Course. Wow. Okay. I'm in West Virginia, apparently. I didn't realize that. I figured there'd be a sign. Yeah, so I guess I'm right here. It's 4 miles? Cool. I'll take that. And it's been an hour and 15 minutes? That can't be right. But I like it. So, I don't know. I'll probably go another few miles and get to the trail center. I think that's another 3.5 miles. And fill up there. If something interesting happens or I think of something witty to say, I'll turn this back on. But otherwise, it'll be an hour will have passed. Bye. All right, so I got to Blackburn Trail Center. Bear Den Rocks from my last video, Rod Hollow Shelter, are back that direction. And so I've come around 7 miles today so far. And see, it's 11:30. So that's not bad, under 3 hours. That's about my normal pace, I guess. So there's water here. It's around lunchtime. I've gone 7 miles in 3 hours. So if I'm gonna do, I don't know, 15, 18, something like that today, it's a good time to take a break. Have lunch, check this place out. There's like a private cabin and then like a public thing, and then there's water. So, you know, when I'm out here, I might as well check these things out, even though I gotta go up and down these extra hills. So when I get there, I'll turn the camera back on. Looks kind of cool. Cabin over there. And here's the trail center. Water available at the spigot. Pretty cool. This place is pretty cool. So they got a bunch of tent sites. Looks like there's a cabin and a bunch of tent sites out here. A couple fire pits and stuff. And then Yeah, it was nice. Should have been a good place to stay. Unfortunately, it's not far enough on the trail from me, so I gotta keep going. But before I do, I'm going to make use of the facilities. So wish me luck. So I'm leaving the Blackburn Trail Center now after a little lunch. Used the facilities, took some ibuprofen, took my shoes off for a bit and hung out. So now I gotta walk all the way back uphill. I'm glad I came though, it was pretty cool. Blackburn Trail Center, a little history for you, was built in 1911 by a doctor from DC. And then, I can smell the outhouse, which it's not fun, by the way. That's a little bit too much information for you, though. Maybe I'll cut that. Nah, I'll leave it in. You want to know? I mean, you guys wanted me to fall on those rocks anyway, so you can hear about my number twos. Blackburn Trail Center, built in 1911 by a doctor, acquired in 1979 by the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club. And now I'm walking back uphill, meet back up at the AT, and go another 10 miles or so. It's noon. We'll see how far I get. Back on the trail after Blackburn Trail Center, and I've walked like, I don't know, a quarter mile, and there's a view. So I figure I will go and take it in. Pretty good view. Assuming that's west. That's looking into West Virginia. If I'm heading north, I went off the trail to the left. That makes sense to me. This is what a lot of the trail has looked like. Just kind of gentle, easy to walk on. Some of it's been rocky, but I've kind of just been at the top of the mountain where I can see, you know, it doesn't just go up in more trees. I had that earlier. I actually had a sign at one point that said, like, now entering the roller coaster, you know, and I passed it. So that was this morning, which I didn't get a lot of it on film because just lots of people. I was just constantly passing somebody. But that was the end of the roller coaster that I did last time. And yeah, aptly named roller coaster. This morning was very hilly, like right off the bat, which is good. Got me all warmed up. Weather's pretty good today. It's humid, but it's like 76 is what my watch says. And it's supposed to be raining at some point this afternoon, like storms for the rest of the night. So I have a tarp. I have a bivy sack. That's it. That's my shelter for the evening, which should keep me dry. I don't know where I'm gonna stay, but like, if the trail's like this later, I can go lay right there. I could lay right there. Lots of flat ground. Now I'm sure wherever I'm gonna be, 6-7 hours from now, is gonna be awful. Because that's just the way things go. So I keep walking through these ferns and everything, and makes me think of two things: Fern Gully and that book Where the Red Fern Grows, which brutal book. That didn't take place in West Virginia, I don't think. I think it was the Ozarks. I don't really remember. They read it to us in elementary school. And they read it to us in the gym of the elementary school. I don't remember why. Like, I don't know if this is the gym teacher reading it. I don't remember. Maybe they just picked the gym because they're like, these kids are going to need some space to work through their feelings after the end of this book. I don't know. It was weird though. But yeah, Fern Gully. Walking through Fern Gully over here. I always like getting to these things. Walking on these little bridges. Because they're really like squishy, wobbly, and slippery. So it's always a little adventure. And I mean, I know you're hoping for me to fall, because you always do. But that's why I got the camera going, just in case I do. Ooh. So it's hard to see where you're gonna go. Someone had to drag these boards all the way out here and put that all together. That's crazy. Although I don't know if I'm that far from civilization, because a little while ago, I haven't seen anybody for a while, except a woman of a particular age in jeans and like a blouse walking. So I feel like I gotta be close to something. Like, she left Pier 1 or Yankee Candles like not long ago, and she's in these woods. So I gotta be close to something. I don't. She just wasn't dressed for success out here. I mean, come out here whatever you want. I'm not trying to be like gatekeep hiking or something. It just seems like, she had some like white Keds on and some jeans, some capri jeans, and like a white blouse. I mean, she was moving, she was booking it, she was going the other way, but again, I don't know where she came from. She was dressed for Pier 1. All right, we're coming up on something. I think it's David Lesser, Shelter in Spring. Awesome. H20 is very far, okay. There we go. So there's a spring. I gotta fill up. H2. Oh, I said H20. I'm dumb. I'm gonna leave that in. I gotta fill up at this spring because their next water is like Harpers Ferry, with the exception of whatever rain comes this evening, which it's looking like 100% starting in like 3 hours or something. So now it's kind of a decision point. I think I've already made up my mind, but it's 1:30. I'm coming up to the shelter. So I've gone like 10 and a half miles. Rain is pretty much guaranteed throughout the night. If I stayed here, I could get up early and hike out. I could get up at 7 and I could probably be at Harpers Ferry by, 1 o'clock or noon or something, which may be fine. But then what do I do for like 8 hours this evening? So, I don't know. Hey, how's it going? So this is kind of cool. It's like a campground, a number of tent sites, fire pits, just areas to string a hammock, throw up a tarp, whatever. And then actual nice tent pads. But I'm just gonna use the spring and fill up, and then although this would be much nicer to stay at than wherever I'm gonna end up this evening, and I could actually have a fire that might survive the rain and everything. I think I'm gonna just trudge on. I think I need an uncomfortable night in the rain. I haven't really done that, not in a tent. So I've had comfortable nights in the rain. So that's the plan. Just keep on going. At least I think it's from here. It's like 3 miles till I forget the gap, Key Gap, which is where Route 9 crosses, and then from that gap, it's like 6.5 miles to Harpers Ferry. So I'll cross that gap, I'll go another few miles, and then I'll just go to sleep. Wake up in the morning, and then just hike the remaining miles to Harpers Ferry. That's my plan at the moment. I gotta fill up with as much water and drink as much water now as I can, because I won't get a place to catch water till Harpers Ferry, and I have dinner to cook that requires water, and I want a cup of coffee in the morning, and oatmeal, and all that stuff. All that needs water. But if it rains, I can put a pot out and try and catch some water, or one of my bags maybe fill up with water. We'll see. That's wet. So that sign wasn't joking. The H2O was far away, like all downhill. So that means I gotta go all uphill. That's okay. I'm gonna fill up this liter bottle all the way, and then I'm also gonna fill up this, which is like 16 ounces. Because like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get any more tonight. After the other video I did, where I showed that my bag broke because I was squeezing it too hard, one of my subscribers sent me a new one. So, thanks, Mom. I'm gonna not squeeze as hard on this guy. Well, you don't need to watch me fill up all this water, so I'm gonna stop filming. All right, water's all filled up. Now I have a long trudge back uphill to get back to the trail, and then 6 more miles. See my new shoes? Got new shoe blues. Just slid. Yeah, hopefully my toes don't end up all busted up. So I got 6 miles or something that I'm gonna do today, and it's almost 2 o'clock. I think the rain starts at 4. I hope, so that I could get another 4 or 5 miles done. Slippery shoes. I'm gonna turn this off so you guys don't get your wish to come true and see me fall on my butt. Here's David Lesser cabin. It's nice. But I keep going. They were right. H20 is very far. I mean, I feel silly because I didn't recognize it as H2O and water. But like, why not just write water? You wrote very. You can't write the 3 extra characters to write water. Water is far. Water is very far. H2O is very far. I don't know. Would help me out. Quick cut, snack attack. Alright, finally coming up on what I think is Route 9, which finishes off, I think it's section 2 of Virginia, West Virginia. So now there's just one more chunk to go. And that chunk is 6.5 miles. I think I'm also in an area where I'm not supposed to camp for another few miles, as far as I know. But, oh, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see the beginnings of the sign. Virginia is for lovers. Yeah, it is. Oh. All right, and there's West Virginia, and I gotta cross. I'm gonna cross right now. There we go. A pretty view. Jefferson County, West Virginia. All right, so this is on the right outside the parking lot there. I started here, Snickers Gap, and I'm now here at Keys Gap. I did the Devil's Race Course, which really wasn't that crazy. It says there's camping permitted only in designated campsites, and that's like a mile from here, 2 miles from here. I might check that out because this green dot, is that a green dot? That's where I'm heading. So I don't have, like I said, it's 6.5 miles. So at this point, I mean, I can wake up and do that in the morning. That's 2.5 hours or something. And I know I'm not going to sleep great, and I'm going to wake up early and want to, start walking. So I really can do whatever I want now. I got to check the map. I thought it said I can't camp anywhere until there's some power lines. So I'll check that in a bit. Otherwise, there's a campground, which I think I read on the map also that you got to have a reservation. So I don't know. I might just stick to my other plan of just lay down when I'm tired, which may not be too much longer. It's 3:10. I checked my watch with the rain. I mean, you can see it's sunny right now. I checked my watch for the weather, and initially it was like 3 o'clock, thunderstorm, guaranteed. And then it's like 5 o'clock, 30% chance. And then in the evenings, 50%. So maybe I don't get rained on at all. That'd be cool. All right, well, I'm going to walk. I'm going to check out the map in a little bit, and then I'll turn this back on when I do. I'm looking at the map. That's the road I just crossed. I'm at an intersection. It should be this one. I don't see any markings. And like I was saying, camping's prohibited from half mile south to 1.5 miles north, which is where the power line cut is. Yeah, if I'm here, that's about a mile to these power lines. And then there's this place that looks like you can hike down the power lines and you're in this area. The other option is just keep on staying. Let's see, 1 mile here, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna get past the power lines and then I'll see what I feel like doing. It's cool walking around this ridge though. I was gonna point this out on the map earlier, but when I'm walking on the ridge, it's like the right side is Virginia, the left side's West Virginia. So that's kind of cool. That's it. Well, I reached the power lines. So anything up this way I can camp at. It actually feels really good to have like a breeze right now. It's not been super hot today, although I've been just pouring sweat all day. It's just been kind of stifling, I guess, at points. But no rain. It doesn't. This is the first chance I've seen. Like, it doesn't look like it's going to rain. It's hazy way out there. Out here looks good. So I don't know if I'm gonna get the rain that was in the forecast. So that'd be cool. If I had to take a guess, I'd say no rain. That'd be my guess. I think I picked out my spot for the night. The trail's right over here. As I was walking, I saw a number of fire rings made out of rocks. So I started walking down. I found this one, cleaned it out, added a rock or two, and then I don't quite have perfect level ground here, but I'm gonna string up my tarp between these two trees, curl up on the ground, my head on that side. It's slightly elevated this way. I'll see if I can level it out at all, but it kind of seemed like the best spot. I don't want to keep on walking. I mean, maybe there's a dynamite spot further north, but this one's fine. So I'm gonna start pulling some stuff out and setting some things up. I'll do that on time lapse. Time lapse. Pillow. This is just a bag liner, like a sleeping bag liner. So it's kind of like just or something. Kind of like just sleeping with a sheet. It's gonna be warm, and it's 85 at the moment. The low is 73. And then I will be sleeping in this. This is a Gore-Tex bivy. Alright, so I haven't used the bivy sack in warm weather. I've used it in the winter when it was cold. I slept in it in the snow, and it kept me dry, kept me warm. And it was like 19 degrees overnight, so it was pretty chilly. It's gonna be 70, so I may get really hot in it. I may open it up and just get mosquitoes all over me. I'm not really sure what the night will bring. But it is 4:22, probably get some firewood, and then I might lay down for a little bit, and then I'll get some firewood and just kind of hang out. There's a little snaily snail. Hey, bud. Well, hey there, bud. This tarp's been up like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Got this little snaily snail climbing on it. Excuse me. That's not a plant, bud. That's just the color green. Can't eat that. All right, I'm gonna relocate Mr. Snaily Snail here. Let's put him over there. There. That way you can eat some leaves. Look at him get there. Well, it took me a lot longer than I care to admit to get a fire going. While I was waiting, I cooked up my food. I boiled up the water for it. Chicken fried rice. Mmm. Yum. So I ate my food, changed my clothes, took a little smoke bath, smoke of the fire. I hung up my food bag. I hear thunder. It is almost 8 o'clock. I think I'm gonna lay down so that I'm all comfy cozy when this rain does actually start, because it is gonna rain. Alrighty, so I got all settled in bed. Got all these ants crawling on me. I zipped this thing up pretty tight. It'll keep the bugs out. They won't be crawling on my skin. I got this thing. I took my socks off, but I got clothes on under here, so I don't really care if little ants crawl on me. The tarp covers most everything. My feet are out, but again, this is Gore-Tex, so it shouldn't. I shouldn't wake up wet. Yeah, it's about 8. The storm's gonna start. If it gets dark and it's like really rainy, I'll turn this thing back on, but otherwise, I'm tired. I'm just gonna lay here, hopefully fall asleep. It's raining. It's 9 o'clock. As you can see, just gets a little bit of rain because I don't have it zipped up. But I'm dry. It stays dry. Everything's dry. It's morning. It's 6:38. It rained from like, I don't know, 9 to 1, something like that. I woke up at some point and it was I thought it was 3:37. I was like, oh man, that's great. I slept like through the night. That's awesome. And then I went back to sleep, and I woke back up, or just like rolled over, and I had looked, and it was only 11:37 and not 3:37, and that was a major that was a crushing blow. So from like midnight to like 2:30, I just laid there tossing and turning. And then at some point in the night, I heard some animal. It was like a row. That wasn't a noise at all. It sounded like a, I don't know what it was. It could have been just a loud squirrel, just a ferocious squirrel. But of course, 3 a.m. in pitch black in the mist, I'm like, well, this is how I go. Whatever that is, it's gonna eat me. And I'm just like fumbling for my knife. It's like, all right, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take care of it. And then very quickly afterwards, I fell back asleep, and I pretty much slept till 10 minutes ago. So I have a little bit of water left that I'm gonna use to make coffee. I can go without breakfast. I don't want to go without coffee. Double coffee. There's people. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, how's he getting all this incredible footage when he broke his tripod last time? Your boy's wicked smart. He fixed his tripod. See, this is just a piece of armature wire sticking in this little piece. So I cut it out and drilled a little hole, put a pin through. So this leg's a little bit shorter now, but it still works. 7:15. Back on the AT. I got like 3.5, 4 miles to go this morning, so gonna go nice and slow. Plan on going into Harpers Ferry and probably ordering some breakfast from someplace. So that's the plan. The girls are gonna meet me there when they get up and drive out. So the drive's like an hour and a half. It's 7. They won't be up for an hour. An hour. And then, so I got like 2.5 hours, so I got plenty of time. So yesterday I was saying, there may be a better campsite somewhere, but I'm not going to look for one. Yeah, there was. This would have been a great place. Super flat right here. Nice big old fire pit. Another little spot over there. That's okay, I like my spot. Tucked away further off the trail. It's a fire pit that hadn't been used for a while. It's a good spot. Pretty flat too. I was pretty comfortable last night. I slid around a little bit. Had stuff crawling on me all night. But just big daddy long legs and big fat ants, so it wasn't that bad. There you go, Carol. The sign entering Harpers Ferry National Historic Park. Cool. I'm getting closer to the footbridge. Again, I could pull out the map and look, but it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna keep walking, so I don't really feel like stopping. Unless there's water somewhere, because I am thirsty. I think I made the right choice to be caffeinated yet dehydrated instead of slightly hydrated but not caffeinated. Just keep sweating everything out. It's humid this morning. 76. There's gonna be a high of 92. And with all the moisture from the rain, it's just wet. The air is wet. Everything's sticking to me. I should probably take these tights off. That might help, but I don't feel like stopping. I'll do that when I get to town. This area reminds me of Fellowship of the Rings when they first leave the Shire and on the road, and then like Frodo has that vision or the feeling of the ring wraiths coming, and then they do that that zoom, what is it, tracking shot, the tracking zoom, where like the camera gets pulled back on a track but zooms forward so that it has that distorted tunnel vision. I'm gonna try it. Coming up to a turn here. I don't know what trail that is. It might be Loudoun Heights, I think. Yeah, Loudoun Heights. Snickers Gap, that's that Route 9 path. 4 miles. Ooh, an overlook. Oh, so I'm here and I'm heading this way. Coming up on the crossing for West Virginia Route 32, I believe. So not too much farther to go to the footbridge, which will probably be where I wrap up my video. Unless I think walking around Harpers Ferry is really cool, which it might be.